Rainy days make plants, especially trees, grow vigorously. Not necessarily a good thing for a tiny garden like mine. So very early on a Monday morning, I started to make some needed changes in my garden. I pruned some trees and let go of some and replaced them with smaller, non-vigorous ones. It's very hard for me to do this as I really like how my food forest looks like right now, but it's really necessary because as you can see, our power line is running from this corner towards the house and it's under the ground. The power line passes under the purple sugar apple and the calamansi trees, but for safety reasons, the guava and pomegranate also need to go. I've thought about this for a very long time. That's why in preparation, I already grew other purple sugar apples on the other side of my garden and let the voluntary citrus tree grow near the base of the guava to replace it. I timed the tree removal this rainy season so the replacements will grow rapidly. Besides, one purple sugar apple is already setting flowers, hopefully fruits. And it won't be too hot for the person cutting the trees. This citrus tree should be fruiting now that the guava is out of the way. The tree branches were disposed of behind the subdivision's tool shed until I find someone to take them away. So many young calamansi fruits on the tree, and also about a pound of bigger and ripe ones. I also had the curry leaf tree and tropical chestnut removed. They're too vigorous, and I'm afraid together they pose a threat to the house's foundation. Beside that, the leaves find their way into and damage the gutters and the ceiling. The moral of my story is that it's very important to research about the trees you're growing before you actually grow them, and growing only trees that you really like maybe for its multiple uses and or if it fruits year round. Take note of where you plant. Avoid underground power lines and water pipes. In a tiny garden, I don't think it matters if you grow a native or not. Native trees are normally really large and not suitable for small spaces. But if you have the space, natives are not only highly recommended, they are needed. I'm aiming for 100% edibles and medicinals. That's why although Dracaena has shallow roots, I also had it removed. Instead of throwing it away though, for sentimental reasons, I'm taking it inside the house. I had the aponcia pruned, grown a piece in a terracotta pot, and I took some of the pods. I also trimmed the dragon fruit and planted some elsewhere in the garden. We don't have veggies in the fridge, so it's time to cook something from the garden. I love to snack on the pods, also called nopales. Dip raw in salt, sugar, and chili mix, or cook with minced meat. Here's how my food forest looks right now. Lesser trees. I'm a little bit sad but I'll just liken it to a painter's blank canvas so I can start all over again. The existing productive ones will flourish while I wait for the newer trees to bear fruits. I'm thinking of adding one small tree between this eugenia and the bananas and nothing more. Hopefully, you learn from my mistakes instead of the hard way. See you in my next vid. This is Medge, and this is life in my food forest. By the way, there is now a citrus, dragon fruits, and a grapevine where the curry tree was, and all the pineapples replaced the tropical chestnut.